I go by the name Hannah, and I'm an adoptee originally hailing from China. I've never had the chance to meet my biological parents. As a baby, my adoptive parents, who are both journalists, embarked on a journey to my hometown in China while they were covering stories in the region. My mother shared with me the incredible tale of discovering me abandoned in a small box near a tree. In that moment, she felt an indescribable connection, and without hesitation, she decided to make me her own. A few weeks later, they brought me to America, where I would spend my childhood. Growing up, my parents showered me with love and affection. We marked birthdays, celebrated Christmas, and enjoyed memorable vacations together. However, there was one peculiar aspect about my parents that always intrigued me. They maintained an air of secrecy around a particular room in our house. My mother had installed a sturdy padlock on the door, and I was strictly forbidden from entering. One day, when I was around 6 years old, I caught a glimpse of my father emerging from that room, his clothes stained with a mysterious red substance. When I inquired about it, he merely mentioned that he was conducting some work-related experiments, and I, as a child, accepted the explanation without further questioning. Several years passed, and I was approximately 8 years old when an eerie incident occurred. One fateful night, as I lay in my bed, I heard a series of knocks emanating from that locked room. My curiosity got the better of me, and I pressed my ear against the door, realizing that the tapping and faint singing were originating from inside. After confirming that my parents were sound asleep, I gingerly turned the doorknob and found, to my astonishment, that the door was unexpectedly unlocked. I cautiously entered the room, where a large white sheet hung ominously from the ceiling. The sheet in the room appeared to conceal a bed, and the girl's singing gradually intensified. Just as I was on the verge of unveiling the mystery beneath the sheet, my parents burst in, shouting, "Hannah, what have we told you? You're not allowed in here." They promptly escorted me out of the room and returned me to my bed. My dad attempted to explain that the room was part of a research project related to his job. Faking slumber, I overheard my mother telling my dad, "She's getting too curious. We need to find something to keep her occupied." The following morning, the room had been completely emptied, as if it had never existed. During breakfast that day, my parents revealed their plan to adopt a boy who would occupy that room. True to their word, he moved in that very night, and our family instantly became a harmonious unit. I grew fond of my new brother, and we embarked on numerous adventures together. For my 15th birthday, he gifted me a keychain, which I cherished and never parted with, almost as if the enigmatic room had slipped from my memory. A few days following my birthday, my mother rushed into my room, agitated. She inquired if I had spotted anyone darting through the house. Initially thinking it was a jest, I chuckled, but it soon became apparent that she was genuinely concerned. I replied no, and watched as she hastily hopped into her car and sped away, leaving me alone in the house. Curiosity piqued, I ventured downstairs to the basement to commence folding the laundry. To my astonishment, I discovered an open door. Ordinarily, a massive cabinet was pushed against the wall, concealing any entrance, but now it had been displaced, revealing a hidden passage. I hesitantly stepped through the door, which led to a compact bedroom. I was utterly dumbfounded by what I encountered: a bed, a nightstand, children's drawings, girls' clothing, and a smattering of toys. I couldn't help but wonder, was someone living here? Overwhelmed with fear, I dashed back to my bedroom, my heart pounding. Several hours later, my mother returned in a hurry, and I could hear a frantic voice shouting, "Let me go! Let me go!" My mother's soothing tones attempted to hush the commotion with words like, "Hush now, it's for the best." Eventually, the cries subsided into an eerie silence. Around the dinner table that evening, an uneasy atmosphere hung over us all. My parents exchanged furtive glances, and my brother valiantly tried to lighten the mood with some jokes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Hatch. Hatch who? Bless you. We all laughed, but I couldn't shake the unsettling events of the day. After ensuring everyone was sound asleep, I stealthily descended to the basement once more. The closet had been returned to its original position against the wall. With utmost care, I moved it aside, revealing a locked door. My hand clutched the pendant I had received on my 15th birthday, and inspiration struck. I inserted the key-shaped pendant into the lock, and miraculously it turned. dim light spilled into the room as I pushed the door open. Inside, I found someone nestled in the bed. With a trembling voice, I whispered, "Hello." The person in the bed stirred, awoken by the sound. She switched on her bedside light and squinted in the sudden brightness. As our eyes met, it was as though I was staring into a mirror. The girl before me was my spitting image, and we both appeared stunned for a moment. Eventually, we began to talk and discovered that we shared the same birthday. It was undeniable. This girl was my long-lost twin sister. Reluctant to reveal my discovery to our parents, I secretly visited her, whom I soon learned was named Kennedy, every night for the following months. We shared our experiences about the outside world, school, and life in general. I finally comprehended the depth of the twin connection as we spoke, moved, and even had similar fashion preferences.